ahead.
So you want me to pay you $30 million to play 30 games? Hell no.
Right.
No. 80 games is fine because I did it. Jerry West did it. Kareem did it. Magic did it. Bird did it. Bernard King, like all the great legends before us did it.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next.
The NBA was rocked when Shaquille O'Neal dropped a bomb that exposed the fake hustle at the heart of today's basketball culture. His comments sent shockwaves through the league, leaving LeBron James and Kevin Durant caught in the crossfire, awkwardly trying to laugh off the harsh reality Shaq laid bare. The timing made it even more explosive. While Shaq was calling out players to actually show up and play, LeBron and Durant were on a podcast mocking the legends who built the league, the very foundation of the billion-dollar lifestyles they now enjoy. It all started with a simple question about load management, the practice of skipping games to protect one's body. Shaq's response was blunt and unfiltered. Why should he be paid $30 million to play only 30 games? That single line carried decades of frustration. He went further, praising the true legends, Jerry West, who played through injuries that would sideline today's stars for months, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who endured grueling seasons without fancy recovery tools, and Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, who battled night after night while earning far less than modern bench players. Shaq's message was,
one time he played for Chicago, he said, if you expect to play a long time in this league, you better quit mopping up the floor. And I thought, well, he's crazy because that's what basketball is all about.
Bird takes it away from Wilkins, goes to the floor and gets it up ahead.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. And so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so he's like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit up? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
I twist my ankle and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. This is, you need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play. I want to win. I want to make an impact.
It might not be in the team's best interest, in your best interest, to play all 82. Is that something you thought about at all since you made the goal?
Man, that's a goal, but we'll see.
I'm available to go and be in the pro.
Shaq made it crystal clear that the modern complaints about the NBA schedule don't fly. When asked if the season might have too many games, he didn't hesitate. If the legends of his era had to grind through it, today's players have no excuse. His message was simple: stop whining about playing basketball while being paid generational money. The old-school stars faced brutal conditions, bare-bones medical care, long flights and cramped seats, and salaries that wouldn't even cover a modern player's car lease. Yet they showed up every single night, with no excuses, no manufactured drama, and no pity parties.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work.
The pushback from modern players came fast. Draymond Green jumped in to defend the sit-out culture, framing skipping games as a smart strategy. Austin Rivers followed with the usual spin, laughing it off and saying, "That's ridiculous. The older guys played all the games. That's cool." Now, some players act like minor aches justify taking games off, treating massive salaries as a reason to preserve themselves. It's a mindset that shocked fans. Millionaire athletes hiding behind body preservation, while fans spend half their paycheck just to watch them play. Being paid $50 million a year to play basketball is treated like a burden, and Shaq's criticism exposed just how out of touch that mentality is.
This rest stuff just drives me crazy. You're playing basketball for a living, okay? I understand if you're working in a coal mine that you may need a rest day after it. You're playing basketball.
Even Nikola Jokic got caught slipping. When asked about mandatory games, he casually shrugged and admitted that he thinks forcing players to play is wrong, basically confessing that if he doesn't feel like it, he'd rather sit on the sidelines. This perfectly illustrates the mentality Shaq has been calling out, the idea that effort is optional, even when the stakes and the paychecks are astronomical.
Mandatory games, he shrugged and said,
I mean, definitely forcing players to play. We saw what happened with the drill. But it's something that probably league wants to, I don't know.
To really play hard, does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. You know, there's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all time.
To have a long career, that's the goal. To be in the league for 20 years. That's the goal.
You know, it's all about winning championships and winning.
And it's just basketball at the end of the day.
Nikola Jokic's casual admission perfectly exemplifies what Shaq has been calling out. Players acting like effort is optional. Jokic shrugged when asked about mandatory games, essentially saying he only wants to play when he feels like it. That's wild, especially in a league where the average salary just hit $10 million this season, and max contracts approach $60 million. Fans shell out to see their heroes only to find them sitting out healthy, like paying for front row concert seats and the artist decides they're too tired to perform. Meanwhile, right as Shaq was calling out this sense of entitlement, LeBron James hosted his Mind the Game podcast with Kevin Durant and Steve Nash and took subtle jabs at Michael Jordan. Durant mused about how difficult it is to stay motivated after years of success, comparing Jordan's baseball hiatus to LeBron's relentless grind. LeBron's smirk and casual comment, "It's just basketball," underscored a mindset clash. The old school legends treated the game like life itself, while some in the modern era treat it like a casual hobby. Shaq's words cut deeper than just criticism. They sparked a reckoning. LeBron, a man who turned basketball into a billion-dollar empire, casually downplaying the game, shows the divide between the generations. Michael Jordan never treated basketball that way. For MJ,
Nerd asks, why is the triangle offense less utilized in today's game?
To try to run the triangle offense right now, it'd be very challenging, just because how the game is played and also how defense is covering.
10 to shoot. Jake going right to the rack. No defensive communication.
You play basketball 2.5 hours a day, 3 hours a day, right? That's your job. That's what you get paid to do as an NBA player. What are you doing the other 21 hours? I mean, to me, that's when you should be preparing for your next day of work.
Why is ring culture so much more prevalent in the NBA than in other sports?
It's funny, I don't know. I don't know why it's discussed so much in our sport and why it's the A-all, B-all of everything.
Like you mentioned a little bit about today's game, because we had Club on here and he talked about load management. He said, I don't know what the hell that is. Where is it going? And that's number one. And number two, how do we get it back?
Even for me, I love the NBA game, but then I turn on to a game, right? And then the stars are not playing because of load management. It's hurting the game.
LeBron didn't stop there. He went straight at Michael Jordan's legacy. He claimed the triangle offense wouldn't even work in today's NBA, arguing that the modern game is smarter, stronger, and more advanced. In other words, he suggested that his generation faces tougher challenges and more complex systems than Jordan did. But this isn't respect, it's revisionism. Then came the real jaw-dropper. LeBron questioned what he's doing is simple, rewriting the rules of greatness to suit the narrative. Instead of focusing on dominance and winning, he's shifting the debate toward longevity and sustained performance, conveniently moving the goalposts away from Jordan's unmatched achievements.
Couldn't believe that an NBA player could make $1 million. And now these guys are so lucky and blessed, and they can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week. And I know they hide behind all the analytical bullshit from their agents and people like that. What they're really trying to do is extend their career. The way the money's been and going, depending on who you are, you're going to be able to make another $50, $70, $100 million and probably more going forward if you can extend your career to.
Larry Bird once shared a story that perfectly illustrates the generational divide in basketball. Artist Gilmore advised him, if you want to last in the league, stop diving for every loose ball. Bird looked at him like he was crazy because to him, that was the essence of the game, hustling for every possession, pushing your body to the limit. Bird understood something LeBron James and Kevin Durant seemed to overlook. The game isn't about preserving yourself for year 20, it's about giving everything every night. That's why Bird only played 13 seasons, and why Michael Jordan completed 13 full campaigns. They burned out chasing glory, not coasting toward retirement, sacrificing everything for championships rather than personal comfort or branding. Meanwhile, LeBron is already hinting at more load management. When asked if playing all 82 games is realistic, he said, "That's a goal, but we'll see," signaling more rest days to come. Jordan, on the other hand, viewed the NBA as a privilege, not a burden. He famously said, "You play basketball 3 hours a day. That's your job. What are you doing the other 21 hours?" Jordan understood that millions of fans would give anything just to watch him play, and the least he could do was give his all every night. He played to impress the fan in the top row, even the ones who booed him, turning their doubts into fuel for performance.